So we're going to talk for a minute about one of my favorite parts about living in the Southwest, and that is our epic storms and monsoon season. Now, a lot of people tend to gravitate towards kind of fancier items and more aesthetically kind of pleasing witches' tools and magical tools. But the fact of the matter is that Mother Nature has everything you need right outside. And one of the really cool things that we have available is the element of water. So when we have a really good storm system coming through, we can collect this and use it for a variety of purposes. So one of the things you can use it for is protection. Right? You can mix it up in a formula with other herbs or oils or crystals or anything like that, and you can create a little protective spray for yourself and for your tools or for anything else that you want to use it for. Another thing that you can use it for is a lot of people will put it in a ritual bath that they're doing because it can be cleansing and purifying, so you can put some of that in the bath too as you're creating that ritual for yourself. Another thing too, in the same kind of like line as cleansing is, you can use it if you're doing a protective wash of any sort of kind. Like a lot of people will kind of put herbs or essential oils in and do like a protective wash like on their home, on their walls or their windows, or just different things, right? Maybe on their front porch. So you can actually put the storm water in, and that is another item that you can use when you are creating your magical wash. It can be used for spell work, right? So sometimes people will take the storm water, they will add it to the spell. You might rub it on the outside of a candle if you're doing some candle magic. You also might use it on your altar, right? You might keep a bit of it on your altar for a specific purpose, or maybe just in general as a protective kind of energy. There's a lot of different things that you can do with storm water. So now that you know what you can do with it, let's talk about how you collect it and then kind of what it sort of means and does depending what storm it is that you get it from. So, because there's a lot of different types of weather out there. So the first thing is pretty easy to collect. What you want to do is you want to take a glass jar, clean glass jar, or if you want, you can take a pot. If you want to collect a lot of it, you can take a big old soup pot out there, just make sure it's clean, and take it out there and put it outside during the storm, right? If it's lightning a lot, please don't take a metal pot outside. Be very careful. I don't want anything to happen to anybody, but take it out there and fill it up. And then when the storm has passed or it's full, you can go out and collect it and bring it back. The first thing that you're going to want to do is kind of cleanse it if it's got any debris in it, because sometimes the storms can be windy, stuff's kicking up, you might have twigs, dirt, maybe you've got some leaves in there, so you can kind of strain and clean all of that out. After that, you can, bottle it and it can be ready to go. Or some people really like to maybe put a little of extra energy or intention and charge the water as well. So that is also something that you can do if you feel so impressed at that time. The last thing you're going to want to do is label the jar. As an herbalist myself, I will tell you, label everything. Even if you think you'll remember what it is, there will come a time when you'll look at that jar and be like, what the heck is in here? And you won't know. So make sure that you label it. For me, I like to put the date that I collected it on. I might also put like what type of storm it is. For me, that's really important. And any other little notations that you want to make. But just make sure that when you pull it up, you know what it is. Now, how do you know like what storm water is good for what? Because you have different types of storms. Sometimes here we have a storm that comes through with a lot of lightning, right? So if I use water from a storm like that, it's going to have a really big punch, right? So if I'm really trying to put a little extra juice in something, that might be the storm water that I'm going to use. Sometimes we have just like a nice gentle rain that will come down. So if I'm doing a spell where I think there might be some bumps in the road, or it might be a little like uneven, or it might be something tricky to kind of bring or manifest, I might use that water because it's going to give everything like a nice, smooth, even kind of keel to my spell, right? It'll make everything flow smoothly and evenly and gently. Right? If you get a storm that comes on like really hard and quick, okay, so that's if you want to make your magic happen quickly, right? Like you can't wait, gotta happen right now, making it go, right? So that would be water that you would add to that. So that's why it's really important to add kind of, I feel like, the type of storm that you get, because each water is kind of imbued with the characteristics of the storm that it is collected from. So keep that in mind as you are collecting stormwater. Also, too, the last thing I think I should probably mention to you guys that's important, if you're using stormwater and it's been working really well for you up until a certain point, and it seems to have kind of lost its mojo, and you're like, it's not working as quick, or it's seeming like it doesn't have as much energy as it usually does, it's probably done, right? Like, you probably want to get rid of it and use some new water, because just like anything, magic kind of does wear off over time. So if that's something that you notice happening, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just the water's tired and it's ready to be done, and you should probably collect a new batch for yourself. So collecting stormwater is really fun. It can add an extra punch and strength into any spell work or rituals or magical work that you're trying to do. So I hope next time the storm comes through, you pull out your little jar and run out to the yard and collect yourself some and try it out and see how it goes for you. If you have any other questions, please let me know. But otherwise, until next time, thank you so much for watching and have an absolutely beautiful day.